In the 80s, unfortunately, friends of mine became sick and began to die, so that was where I became involved. I had already started to be involved with the Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras in Sydney, with various of the artists like Peter Tully and Dave McDermott, and I was a volunteer in the workshop. And the pressure came on the Mardi Gras to actually be cancelled. There were calls for it to be cancelled because it was deemed to be a health risk. Back then, Mardi Gras was the main advocacy organisation for gay and lesbian issues. There were virtually no other organisations with a high enough profile and a media profile to be able to advocate. So Peter Tully became involved with the Mardi Gras and was the first artistic director. And he was really responsible for transforming it to a much more visual parade, whereas it was a protest march basically, but he turned it into this amazing visual event. And visuals are extremely potent in conveying your message if you do them properly. So it was always done with wit and that sort of thing. It was a fantastic time. I just felt so in awe of the artists. I'm not an artistic person myself, but I loved working with the artistic people, and I could also see the toll that HIV was beginning to take. I mean, it really decimated the entertainment, the artistic communities in Australia and elsewhere. And I saw friends who I thought were fantastically interesting, wonderful people dying. So part of the motivation for coming onto the board and becoming president was the fact the Mardi Gras was under pressure to be cancelled by Fred Nile and politicians and all that sort of palaver. And I thought that two things might happen. The gay community may be completely wiped out by HIV because we didn't know about it by then. But particularly if Mardi Gras was cancelled, this would be a terrible blow to the morale of everyone, particularly gay men. So that was really one of my motivations for getting involved. So I did a couple of years as Mardi Gras and then went on to become the first director of the AIDS Council of New South Wales, and here I am. I had painted the white, the undercoat. Peter came along and did all the figures. So it's actually an original piece of work by Peter, and I've never seen him draw anything like that before. There are about 6 or 7 or 8 of them. All with flashing lights and stuff like that. It looked terrific. So when we were in Moore Park after the parade, just getting our breath before going back, Keith Haring walked over and he said, "I just love this float, thank you so much." And Peter said it was a sort of homage to him anyway. That's the history of this, and it's been in my garage for several years now. Sometimes I dig it out on Mardi Gras night, because I'm a bit too old to go to that now, and I connect the lights and have it on as a sort of tribute to my dear friends and all the good times I had.